Look, in Nebraska, you got a slogan here. Nebraska, it's not for everyone. Well, it sure ain't for Donald Trump, I'll tell you that.
That was Governor Tim Walz holding a rally in his home state of Nebraska. Nebraska, one of two states that split their electoral votes, and the Harris campaign is targeting the one vote up for grabs in the state's second congressional district, which could be a crucial part of the vice president's path to victory in November. Simone, I feel like no rally in Nebraska is complete without Nebraska's favorite daughter.
This is true. I would, you know what, actually?
She's a corn girl.
Yes, corn huskers, yes. And maybe I think Kathy Hughes might be one of Nebraska's favorite daughters. Look, I think that what is happening in terms of the outreach is absolutely critical. When we were talking with Quentin earlier, and he talked about, and you put up on the screen, Alicia, the graphic that showed the difference between Beaver and Allegheny County. Like, going to Beaver matters because you need to close the margins. But you also still have to go to the places where you know that if you drive up the margins, it can help you. Going to Nebraska, particularly where Governor Walz was, I mean, he's District 2. That's Douglas County, Sarpy County. Omaha is within Douglas County. The lines were literally out of the door, around the corner. There were so many people that could not get in, but that kind of enthusiasm in District 2 translates to people who then want to sign up in phone bank, people who then maybe decide to vote early during the vote early period, bring other people to the polls. And that's what this campaign is going to need if they're going to be successful, because I still think it's going to be close in November.
This race is going to be a lot closer than it may feel right now for a lot of people. In the polling, you know, again, I'm not a fan of national polling until we get past Labor Day. And then I don't want to see any poll of registered voters. I want to see a poll of likely voters. And I think a lot of the internal work polling that's going on in both campaigns, Trump and Harris, is telling them that Trump has got a problem in his backyard. He's got a problem even within the MAGA space. You know, you saw social media accounts last week where, you know, MAGA are calling for the removal of his campaign leadership. See, calling them out as you know, deep state plants, which I find hilarious. But I think to Quentin's conversation with Quentin and your point, Simone, there is going to be a tightening, and there is going to be a need to be in places that a campaign like this ordinarily and traditionally would not go. They're not, in the past, going to spend a lot of time in Beaver County because it's a write-off. But now what you figure out is we know that there's a percentage of those voters along some of the lines that we were just talking about with Governor Hochul, whether it's women's reproductive health, whether it's economic policy, you know, making it a little bit easier for me to weather the recovery from inflation. Those voters do exist in Beaver. Yeah. And so you want to go now and have that conversation. The challenge and the problem is the Republicans, under this leadership, under Donald Trump and what he's done to the party, they can't make that case nationwide. No. They can, they're one note, Alicia, they're just one note. I agree,
and I also thought it was interesting that you had Walz actually sort of confronting that question of the modern-day Republican Party. Take a listen to what he said in Nebraska.
Many of you can probably remember when Republicans talked about freedom, they meant it. They would have never turned their back on our allies. The traditional Republican Party before Donald Trump contributed much to this state and this great nation. But he's not that.
That is creating a permission structure, right? That is saying you may be someone, you are on the voting rolls as a Republican. That is fine. This is not the Republican Party that made you want to be a Republican in the first place. And it feels to me that you may be in Nebraska, they know that clip is running nationwide, and that clip is resonating with a much broader swath of voters.
Well, that's why 70,000 Republicans got on a phone call the other night and said, hey, you know, there's a lot in the policy world that I would disagree with this vice president if she becomes president. But my aim right now is to help her become president because of just how, to Governor Walz's point, just how out of step Republicans are with the national mood and the national direction.
I would also note it is a play for the House as well. District 2, that is a competitive House seat, right? That is a seat that Democrats could capture. Tony Vargas, who is running for that seat in Nebraska, he was on the stage yesterday speaking as well. And some Republicans, if they vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you also want them to cast that ballot if you're the Democrats in Nebraska for Tony Vargas and send him to the United States Congress. So it's a full play there. So, you know.
Well, and to your point, Simone, that's why Republicans are trying to change the rules so that seat, so that vote is not available to Democrats because they want to take the state.
I hear they don't have the votes in the unicameral.
They don't have the votes in the unicameral. That's right.